Morning all. So I'm here in Henley to bring you your Fit for Life program. I think we're on about number 7. It's raining outside today, so I'm back in here on my boat. I hope you're all well. So let's begin. Let's start on all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's get that spine nice and mobilized. Inhale, lift the tailbone, relax the belly and look forward. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly up and reach the shoulder blades apart. Again, inhale and exhale. Make it flow. Get that lovely, long, flowy movement along the spine. Starting at the tailbone, finishing at the crown of the head. Connecting with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do 2 more. And the last one. Come to a neutral spine, take a hand, step forward. Inhale forward, nice strong inhalation, nice long straight arms. As you exhale very slowly, lengthen the spine, spread the fingers. Inhale forwards and exhale back. Filling up the lungs on the way forward to energize, soothing on the way back and lengthening the spine. 2 more. As we come back, we're going to tuck the toes and push into a down face dog. Take the sit bones away from the crown of the head. Push the fingers forwards. Spread the toes and then walk it out very slowly. Again, we're trying to synchronize this movement with the breath. Lengthening through the backs of the legs. Nice decompression here for the spine. And then walk into the middle of the mats. Bend the knees. We're going to come up slowly. Bend the knees. Stack the vertebrae slowly as we come up. Roll the shoulders. And turn to face the long edge of your mat. So just a little more to finish up our warm-up. Take the arms up over the head. Hands to press. So link the thumbs. Inhale, reach up. Slight engagement on the glutes as you exhale. Hips out to the left, upper body comes over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side. Continuing to mobilize. Getting the body ready for its work ahead. Inhale, center. And exhale, side. Last one. And center. Bring the arms down. Relax the shoulders down. Do any adjustments that you need to do now. Sorting out the leggings, always favourite. Relax the shoulders down. Take a few breaths into the belly. Center yourself. Get yourself ready for your practice. And open your eyes. So we're going to start our practice this morning with a goddess. So it's a bit like a squat, so about one of your leg lengths apart, and turn your toes out a little bit like a penguin, and then squat. So sit down to the posture. Try to get your knees to track the middle of your toes. A little bit difficult for me, I'm a bit knock-kneed, so they come a little bit further inwards. Ribs forward and draw the upper body back. And then open, a strong, powerful posture. Squeeze the inner thighs together, have the front body nicely open. Tuck the chin a little and draw the ears back. Maybe you could sit a little deeper. Now connect with the breath. See what happens if you close your eyes. See what happens. It's a lot harder. Feel all of those twitchy movements inside, how yoga works. As we strengthen and stabilize. Maybe you could go a little bit lower. Ribs forward, open the front body. 2 more slow breaths. And release the arms. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes forwards. And then bring your left foot in by about 30 degrees and your right out by 90. Let's come into Trikonasana, the triangle. Bum moves to the back of the mat. Upper body comes forwards. Palms forward and windmill until your right hand connects with your right leg. Now push your ribs forward so you can rotate. Imagine you're wrapping your rib cage around the spine. Reach up, stretch down. Both sets of toes float. Your thighs are engaged, they're strong. Your breath is very soft and gentle. Steady, even flow of breath. One more breath. Release the back hand onto the hip and bend the front knee. Let's come into a sun warrior. We might encourage the sun to come back out. Now eventually we want to get a right angle on this front leg. Take the back leg a little further away. Lengthen your stride. Strengthen your leg from the hip to the outer edge of the foot and slide the back hand down the back leg. Drop down with the front knee in line with the middle toe. Front arm comes up. Now reach the arms apart, drop down. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Chest is lifted. And now connect with the breath. Your body should feel very strong. Your breath inside this strong body is very soft and gentle. Representing the duality of life. As we take the rough with the smooth, the good with the bad. And release. Bring the arms up. Virabhadrasana 2. Just a few more breaths. Draw back so your shoulders are stacked above your hips. And turn your head to look over that middle finger of the right hand. Maybe a little lower. Draw back. Keep that back leg strong and grounded. Breathe. Connect with the breath. And release. Well held. That was tough on the legs. Turn the toes inwards. This protects our knees. And now we're going to come into a wide leg forward bend. Take a breath. Lead with the ribs. Tip the weight to the balls of the feet. Tuck the chin. Continue so your head is coming forward as you come down. If you've still a way to go, make a hammock with the arms and allow gravity to take you down. Otherwise, surrender. Palms of the hands up. Shake the head. And now lift up your sit bones. And hang. Very soothing and nourishing for the brain. Nice decompression for the spine. For that lovely lengthening inner thighs, backs of legs. Come on to finger pads at the front and we're going to heel toe all the way in until the feet are stacked under the hips and come down. Now where the toes meet the feet, push the toes into the mat, ribs forwards. Okay, so lift the heels up. Little uncomfortable, especially if you've got bunions, but it's going to help to break down that calcification, allowing all of the lymph and blood to rush to the toes. Let's see if we can make a little balanced posture. If this is too much, bring your hands back onto the floor. Keep your eyes very still. And now bring the hands back down. Now we're going to take this into a Hindi, so you're going to step out. Now if you've had knee operations or your knees are troubling you, you might want to stay a little bit higher up here. If your heels are not ready to touch the floor, then you can pop a cushion under your heels. Otherwise we can sit to a Hindi. Again, it's very nice for the spine, really good for the groin. As the blood rushes to that area, close your eyes. So we're using the arms here to hold the legs out. So remember, you might be a little bit higher. Imagine a tube from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Breathe along it. Push the ribs forward so the spine is nice and long. As you exhale, allow your tailbone to lengthen down towards the mat. Nice, steady, even flow of breath. One more breath. And now we're going to come into Uttanasana, the forward bend. So release the hands and then bring the feet back to hip width. Tip the weight to the balls of the feet. Lift up the sit bones. I'll show you from the side. Lift right up from here. And then spread the flesh at the back of the thighs. Above the hips, broaden it here. Shake the head. And hang. Now if you've got any discomfort in your lower back, you bend your knees. Otherwise we can work with straight legs and allow the hamstrings to lengthen. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then bend the knees. We're going to uncurl slowly. Take a gentle back bend. Encourage your hips forward with your hands. Your ribs are forward. Lift the top of the chest. Now fill the lungs to the top. Empty completely. Arms down by the side. Take a couple of breaths into your belly. And now let's repeat that sequence onto the other side. So we're going to start with our goddess. So we're about one leg length apart, turning out the toes, feet 10 to 2, and then squat. Try to get the knees to track or as near as you can, tracking the middle toe. And then take the ribs forward. So we want our shoulders stacked above our hips. And then open out. So working in leg strength here. Tuck the chin a little and draw the back of the ears back. So we've got the neck in line with the spine. Maybe you could sit a little more. If the knees are troubling you, then you come higher. If you want to work, make it tougher, you squat and sit lower. Strong posture, soft breath. Maybe you could close your eyes. Really feel what's going on inside your body. 2 more breaths. Well held. Release the hands and straighten the legs. Turn the toes forwards. Now turn your right foot in by 30 and your left out by 90. Lift the knees to the hips. Your thighs are solid and strong. Arms up. Left hip tips back to the right so the bum moves back. Upper body comes forward and then windmill. Push the ribs forward and try to keep 2 shoulders in one line until the left hand connects with the left leg. Make sure this top hand is just in front of your shoulder. Legs are strong, toes are floating. If the neck allows, look up to the top hand. Now breathe. Steady breath. You might feel a little bit shaky in these strong postures. The body shakes a little. Release the back hand onto the hip and bend the front knee. Increase your step. Take the back foot back. Now long and strong all the way from the hip to the outer edge of the foot and slide the back hand down the back leg. Bend the front knee. Now scoop up. Make your side body long. Front arm comes up. Take your gaze up and reach the arms in opposite directions. Set to your posture. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Front set of toes float. Again, you might feel that little shakiness. Just accept it. If you can, stay with it. As we bring the arms out to Virabhadrasana 2. Now try to draw the shoulders back so they're stacked above your hips. Maybe you could squat a little, sit a little deeper, draw the shoulders back, open the front body, and then turn the head to look at that middle finger of your left hand. Legs working really hard now. Try to stay with it for a couple more breaths. And release, well held. Turn the toes inwards. Let's revisit that wide leg forward bend. Toes turning in. Take a breath. Use the whole of the breath to come down. Lead with the ribs. Neck in line with spine. So the head is coming forwards as you come down. Tip the weight to the balls of the feet. Take a couple of breaths here. Lift up the sit bones. Spread the flesh. Make the flesh broad at the back of the thighs. And here, just above the bum. Make that flesh wide. And then come round to the right leg. Use the left arm. Lift up the sit bones. Now use the left arm to draw you in so you get this lovely release around the back of the left shoulder and all around this left lumbar area. Walk it round to the other side. So get a really nice release, shoulder and hip. Use the right arm to the left leg. Body weight in the balls of the feet. Lift up the sit bones and bend the elbow. And so it's like we're drawing this right shoulder around to the left. And then again, come back to the center, shake the head and hang. Allow that cerebral spinal fluid to enter the brain. Just a few more breaths. Maybe you could take a hold of the outer edges of the feet and draw your way through. Come on to finger pads, heel toe back in. Feet under the hips, bend the knees, uncurl. Gentle back bend at the top, encouraging the hips forward, the ribs forward. Lift the chest and squeeze the elbows together. Fill the lungs to the top. Exhale. Couple of breaths into the belly. Finishing our practice this morning, seeing how our balance is. Okay, so we're going to transfer our weight and stand on the left leg. So lift the knee to the hip so the thigh is nice and strong and take up the arms. If balance is not with you, rest your toes onto the mat with as little weight there as you can. Otherwise, we're going to lift the knee and flex the foot. Crown of the head rises. Squeeze your inner thighs together to help keep you stable. And push this left foot into the mat. And release. Changing sides, stand on the right and lift the left. Ribs forward, crown of the head rises, keeping the gaze very still. Bringing your hands to your heart. And so remember, this is, excuse me, just the first half of your practice. You'll have to click onto the second link to do the floor part. Okay, so that was a strong leg practice. Well done. Namaste.